Hey everybody, this is Holland Martin. Thanks for joining us. And today we're joined with 1995 Marion High School graduate, Tavares Rankins. Tavares was a student athlete, Marion, and has went on to do great things in writing, and we'll welcome you to the show.
What's up, everybody? Hey, thanks for giving me the platform, bro.
Hey, awesome, man. All right, I wanted to start in, let's just go right from the beginning. What part of town in Marion were you born, and what are some of your earliest experiences?
So I think I started out with my dad because he had me in sports. So I lived with my dad really as I was younger. And we used to, he used to take me to all, the boys club. We used to travel and do the sports and all that. It wasn't until I got to high school when I went to live with my mom.
Okay.
So, yeah, my dad, I was out, we was out in the McCullough district out by the Aquadome. You remember the Aquadome?
Yeah.
Yeah, out in that area of Marion. Yeah. So I was out there. I grew up out there for a long time, South Marion.
Have you been out that way in a while? Out in that on that?
Yeah, I try to.
Oh, it's
yeah, I visit every time I come back.
Hey, they put the Aquadome is gone. There's a big retention pond. They put the football field right across the way there, and Indiana Westland's really grown out there on the south side. Okay. It looks totally different.
Yeah, I've been out there a few times. I come back and visit every September, and so I make it all through town. So I see the changes. Marion's doing some nice things.
Good stuff, man. It really is. We're trying to do something. There's so much talent here that I think the issues of the past years let people sit back and whatever they've ever wanted to do, they can do it now. You can make your own hustle, so to speak. Let's do this. When did you get to starting your intro into sports?
Man, I think I saw the Chicago Bears playing. It had my favorite player of all time, Walter Payton.
Sweet.
So I can't remember how old I was. Yeah, I can't remember how old I was, but I know I wanted to be like him. So I think I started playing like flag football. Had to be like in the fourth grade, somewhere around there, third, fourth grade.
Okay.
So, I started playing flag football, and then was playing quarterback position, which was pretty good. And we won like the tournament. We was the best team in the little city or whatever. But it wasn't until, the 7th and 8th grade when we got to put the pads on.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. And I was out south in McCullough Bears, but back then they did the schools together. So we all played together. McCullough, Jones, and Justice. We all played together.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right.
It was pretty good too. Yeah.
Oh man. Hey, that era of Marion at mid-90s, sick talent.
Yeah.
So let's jump into that. You played basketball and football for McCullough?
Yeah, basketball, football, and I also did track. So if you walk through the McCullough hallways right now by the gymnasium, I still hold about 4 records for track and field.
That's what's up,
since,
man.
1992, 91.
29 years later.
Yeah. I don't think that record's ever going to be broken. The hurdles I had the record in the hurdles both 7th and 8th grade year. We had the 400-meter relay and the 1600-meter relay. Okay. We were some bad boys. So it's like me, Charles Smith, Montez Jones, my brother Henry Presley, David Boyd. We was fast, boy.
Oh, hey.
The record's still up there.
Hey, that's some fast dudes right there, bro. That's some real fast dudes.
Yeah.
And in football, what did you play? What position did you play at McCullough?
I played running back 7th grade, and I think 8th grade I was quarterback.
Okay.
Yeah. If I remember right. 7th grade I was running back, 8th grade I was quarterback.
And who were your coaches?
Jim Henderson. I remember Jim Henderson.
Oh, Mr. Henderson.
Was the football coach. Yeah, Mr. Henderson.
Yeah.
And that's about all I remember.
Okay. But coach a little bit with Mr. Henderson. He was an assistant under Vermillion, 2012 to 2014, and got to know him a little bit. Knowledgeable guy. I think he's from the Oak Hill area, something like that.
Yeah.
But all right. So now let's jump right into the high school. You got Coach Circus in there. I'm trying to think who was it. Jeff France was a quarterback, maybe. Or who was your quarterback?
Yeah, Jeff France. Jeff France was the quarterback my sophomore, junior year, and then Stephen Simmons was the quarterback my senior year. And of course, I played running back. I continued at running back position. So.
Yeah, I talked to Stephen last week. I got him lined up for one of these as well. A lot of great stories with that. Yeah, I plan on getting as many of the greats as possible for as much as I can. Now, like I was telling you before we went live, my first sighting of you, it was really on the football field. I mean, some of the things that you could do was pretty amazing, man. You was blazing fast, but you could also juke and get around people and just make plays all over the field. Did you play any defense as well?
Yeah, I played defense my freshman year. I was a cornerback.
Okay.
Played defense my freshman year. But my sophomore year, I played varsity. My freshman year, I was on the junior varsity. But my sophomore year, I went to varsity. So I just focused on the running back position. I moved from defense and just focused on the running back position.
That's pretty good stuff. Now, if I can remember right in that era, there was some good running backs down there too. Was it Willie Flores? Was he in there?
Oh yeah, he was. He was a fullback.
Was he in there too?
Yeah. Yep.
What about Edgar carried the ball a little bit that year too?
Yeah, he did. I got to give a shout out to my other fullback, Melvin Sandifer. He was a truck.
Big Melvin,
Melvin Sandifer. Yeah, he was a truck. He used to put people on their backs.
Put them out, baby.
He used to clear out the hole. Yeah, he was a deke leader. He used to put them on their back.
You guys also have Ron Turner and Tank LaShore? Was they on that team too? Were they running backs too in there?
No. I think they came after me. They were young.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, good stuff, man. So tell me some stories about those years of you playing football. You know, the bus rides, your best game, touchdown wise, anything that you did that couldn't imagine that you did,
Okay. Well, shoot, this story, I forget who we was playing. I think maybe Anderson, Highland, someone like that. But I had 4 touchdowns before halftime. So we was blowing them out, right? Killing them. And I wanted that record. I wanted that record. A guy by the name of Roger Hamilton had the record, right? I think I tied the record. And I needed one more touchdown to get the record. So we got a good lead on this team, blowing them out. Halftime comes. So the third quarter comes. I'm still in the game, right? And all of a sudden, I'm snatched from the game. They didn't want to risk me getting injured, and I wanted that record so bad. And I think it was one of those situations where no one realized that I had 4 touchdowns and I was about to get this record. But the minute that it was realized, I had to come out the game.
Kept you in there.
I wanted that record. I wanted that record so bad. As far as bus rides, we used to have some fun on the bus rides. Lonnie Johnson, got to give a shout out to Lonnie Johnson. Lonnie Johnson and Melvin Sandifer, they was the clowns.
Hey,
like
Lonnie Johnson has turned himself into one of the all-time great wrestling coaches.
He's doing good things.
He fielded a good team again this year, and they went to state. A couple guys went to state. Jaquan Williams went to state, and a good friend of mine, Lonnie Williams, is. But him and Melvin's cutting up on the bus.
Oh God, nobody's safe from them too. I mean, they would roast on each other, and then they would start roasting you. So I don't know how we had energy to play these games, man, because we was laughing the whole way to the game. But as far as that, them bus rides, they kept us entertained. football season, always look forward to it. And we would always get so close during the tournaments. Like I remember my senior year, the game that I wanted to win so bad, we was playing Muncie Central. We ended up losing by, I think, a 2-point conversion, right? But we had 4 turnovers that game, and we still almost won.
Was that Eddie Faulkner on that
funny
team? Was that Eddie Faulkner?
Who'd you say? Yeah, that's a bad boy, Faulkner. I think he went to Wisconsin. Went to Wisconsin.
Yes.
He was killing us. He was killing us. But their whole team was tackling me. In that game, I remember getting hit in the back of the head, right? So I'm pretty sure I had a concussion. The third quarter. And I don't remember like nothing after. I don't remember the bus ride home.
Said nothing.
I don't remember nothing after that hit, but I still remember the plays. I remember the plays, but I don't remember nothing after that. I don't remember the bus ride. I don't remember nothing. Standing in the huddle. So, those are the days. We took it for granted.
We do, man. I've had some games like that, mainly in my semi-pro games, semi-pro days where you got to drive all over the place. So next thing I know, I'm at home. I'm like, hey, I know right what you mean.
We took that for granted, man.
We did, man. We had the peak of our athleticism and our youth and our energy, and we were doing what we loved for free,
Right.
If you put me back in that young body right now, boy, I'll be right back there on that field. I would.
Yeah.
Right. So you had Coach Mark Surface.
Mark Surface.
Have any stories with him?
Coach Surface was always good to me. I was one of those knuckleheads that I hated the 2-a-day football practices. Right. And so every year I would skip them 2-a-day football practices for like the first week. So by the time our first game came, I was ineligible because I never went to the first week. So I always had to sit out the first game, right? But everybody knew the running back position was mine. So whoever was at my position, whenever I came eligible, you got to come up out of it. Coach Surface was always good to me. He always knew I was going to skip out on them, that first week of 2-a-day football practices. And I never had to do like extra sprints or nothing like that. So,
hey, he know who his horse was. He knew who his horse was.
Yeah.
Hey, I used to hate them 2-a-days, man. We don't do them now.
Yeah, them 2-a-days.
I'm a linebacker coach at the high school, so I'm with the kids all the time.
They cut out them 2-a-days.
Yeah. We got to give them 30 minutes.
Them 2-a-days was hell.
Nothing like it used to be.
It ain't like it used to be. Them 2-a-days was hell. I'm glad to see y'all cut them out, though.
Yeah, after the Corey Stringer, people falling out, heat stroke, stuff like that, they kind of curtailed things like that. All right. Let's segue into basketball now. You were a 3-year starter, or was it you played all 4 years?
Sophomore to senior, I started, but I didn't. I played freshman or junior varsity as a freshman, but I got to dress varsity once the JV season was over. So, but basketball is probably my favorite sport. I really don't know because I like both of them, but and I excelled at both of them.
Yes.
So I really can't say that I had a favorite, but man, I think if I had to do it all over again, I might have chose to play basketball in college.
And you guys had some great guards that you played with. I mean, Brian Walker, Ted Bryant, Betts. I think John Pierce was on that team. I mean, Larry Mitchell, Londo Small.
Yeah, we were stacked.
Kyle Kirby. Loaded. And I think your sophomore year, y'all went 16-4. If I'm not mistaken, y'all went pretty far.
We did pretty good my sophomore year, but I think we lost to Kokomo during the regional. I think it was the regional. I
think it was.
We had some battles. And, Jody McCain, we were stacked, man. We were stacked. So,
if I'm not mistaken, in that Kokomo game, did Jody shoot a half-court shot at the end, but it missed? Was that the game?
I can't remember. I can't remember that one.
Okay.
If it was my sophomore year, It was a pretty close game, but we lost. It wasn't like a last second shot. We didn't lose by a last second shot.
We always got robbed with Kokomo, man. I hate playing Kokomo.
Yeah, I hated Kokomo. I hated them. I hated Kokomo in both football and basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I hated them.
Now, in the Muncie game, your sophomore year, that was when Bonzi Wells came down. And
Bonzi, the funny story. Hey, I'll tell you a story. Yeah.
Tell me about that game, bro.
All right. So I gotta tell you a story about Bonzi, right?
Okay.
So this is like this goes back to our AAU days.
Mm-hmm.
So of course AAU was different from high school.
Yeah.
So I played me and Jody McCain, we used to play with Anderson instead of Marion. We played AAU with Anderson for years, from the ages of 12 to 17. We played with Anderson. When we was 15, Bonzi came to join our team, right? So the national tournament was, I think it was Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. So Bonzi's on our team. Bonzi's probably averaging about 20 points per game, right? And so they're all AAU season. I'm playing with Bonzi like, man, this dude is doing some amazing stuff.
Oh yeah.
But I'm not knowing that I'm playing with a pro athlete. I'm just like seeing what he's doing, because he's getting 20 a game. I'm getting 20 a game. So I'm seeing him do some incredible stuff. So AAU season's over, right? Then it's high school basketball.
Yeah.
So Bonzi's team from Muncie comes and he's playing against us, right? We got a stacked team.
Oh yeah.
So that game, right? So that game, I know what Bonzi could do. And so lo and behold, somebody get the rebound and Muncie Central's on a fast break. And I'm all the way at like under our bucket. And I'm watching Bonzi on the break, and I'm seeing Orlando chasing him. And I just stopped because I already know what's about to happen. I'm like, I just stopped running. So I'm like, I'm just gonna watch. I'm just gonna watch, right? I see Bonzi just elevate. Orlando tried to jump with him to block the shot. Fouled him. Bonzi threw that joker down so hard it sounded like an explosion.
You did.
And Orlando had never been dunked on before. So when he turned around, he didn't know he didn't make eye contact with nobody. It's like he looked up at the scoreboard. And I was like, yeah, I saw that. I was like, yeah. But
in fairness,
to look back at it, yeah.
In fairness, though, O came back with a monster dunk.
Yeah, he did come back with a monster dunk. And not to take nothing away from O, but he got dunked on by a professional athlete. So, it happened. The very next year, my junior year, we went and played Muncie Central. Bonzi played Bonzi Wells, dude by the name of Steve Smith. Yeah. We all got dunked on. All of us got dunked on. Me, Jody McCain, we all got dunked on.
Everybody got dunked on. I mean,
really
all they had was him. All they had was him and Steve. I mean,
yeah.
He scored 20, Steve scored 19. Pretty much.
Yeah. That was a good game. I still got that game on VHS.
You do?
I got.
And we know what we need to see those. I remember when Sunnycrest used to come, they would film all the football games, all the basketball games.
Yeah.
Hang out at
My
McDonald's.
Dad got all those games.
Hang out at McDonald's and Burger King. By the time we got home, they'd be on TV. Then they replay them again Saturday morning. Like they got all those videos.
All of them.
Oh, they need to replay those. They could get 1 million hits a year.
I didn't know they didn't show the games on. I didn't know they didn't show them no more.
Yeah, they don't show them anymore. They should. I mean,
too bad.
I will be watching because they did it with us. They did it through you guys all the way up past Deuce Miller and the Stroms and them guys. Like way past.
Right.
So, I mean, that's a lot of archives there. I've been reaching out and I'm going to be bouncing back and forth trying to figure out how we can make it happen. I think it's an old videotape. They got to change the format and all that mess, but we'll be getting that out there.
Okay.
So you actually you had Coach Green when he came back, didn't you?
Yeah.
When Coach Green first came back, that was.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Sophomore year. Yep.
The pageantry of Dunn leaving, Coach Green coming back, and now you're in the high school.
Yeah, that was high expectations because Coach Green back in the was the 87 to like 80, 88, 89. They won the state championship. So, those were high expectations. But, he was a really good coach. He introduced us to this matchup zone. It was an effective defense, but it was also like it was a lazy defense. So even though it was effective, it reserved a lot of energy for us. So, I think we won a lot of games that way by that matchup zone that they introduced us to. It was very effective, but it reserved a lot of energy. So, playing under Coach Green and Coach Gunn, they had, different coaching methods, but they was both great coaches in my eyes. We had, and plus you can't take away the talent. So, we had a lot of talent. Marion was Indiana's just super talent. It's a basketball state. So
and even towards your junior and senior year, you had guys like Hippie Randolph, Andrew McFarland, Reggie Morgan. I mean, you guys had some height.
We were stacked.
Guards, Damian Jackson, I believe too.
He was younger than me. He was younger.
He was younger than you.
He was younger than me. He didn't get
But
but it's
big talent.
It was Kyle Kirby, Jody McCain, John Pierce, Hippie. So we had a lot of talent. And that my junior years when we made it to the semi-state. We made it to the semi-state. We played this team called Bishop Dwinger from Fort Wayne.
Fort Wayne.
We was completely we was not prepared for that game at all. We didn't watch film on them or nothing. And see, they was prepared for us because I'll tell you what, the thing that they did to me that surprised me, they played a boxing one.
Okay.
And I never had that happen to me before. So they treated me like
star.
So, their whole team ran down the court and set up in the zone. But I had a dude guard me the whole length of the court. Full court.
94 feet.
And he was just I didn't even have the ball and he was guarding.
He there.
We didn't make we didn't make any adjustments. And
How
we
many
ended up losing
turnovers?
that game by we didn't have that many turnovers, but we had a turnover at when we couldn't afford to have a turnover. Like the last 30 seconds of the game, we was down by 2 points and we turned the ball over. But when I tell you, there was some big country fed boys. Oh my God, there was a Christian school, but they was all about 6'4".
Goodness. Big strong boys. They beat us in football 2017 in sectionals. Now, your career high was 31, wasn't it? Is that your career
I think
high?
so. I can't remember who it is. Yeah, I can't remember who it was against, but I think my career high was 31.
Go ahead.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure where I rank as far as points scored. Because I know Marion has they keep track of how the points score, but my senior year I played half the season because I got some trouble my senior year basketball season, and so I got kicked off the team half the season, got suspended indefinitely.
Anything you want to talk about, or you want to keep it moving?
Oh yeah, I talk about all that, man. So what happened? In the 90s, the mid 90s in Marion, it was still really racist.
Yes.
And so we had some kids in the high school throwing that N-word around.
Oh yeah.
And they started trying to bully me. Right, there's about 4 or 5 of them. They played soccer. Most of them played soccer. They started trying to bully me, but I couldn't be bullied, so I would fight. I'll fight all of them. They couldn't bully me, and it got to the point. It got to the point where it was so bad that they was trying to get me to fight them in school. And this started my junior year. This was my junior year, right before we was going to semi-state. This was my junior year. I take that back. This is my junior year when the bullying started. Well, the attempted bullying, because they couldn't bully me, so I had to correct that. They attempted to bully me. So, but it got to the point where they was trying to fight me in school, and I'm not the type to walk away from a fight. I won't start one, but I won't walk away.
Yes, sir.
So I had to walk away. You know what I mean? And they was trying to get me to fight them during the peak of our basketball season when we was really good, and I had to walk away. But I told them at the time that the girl that I was dating, I told them to come out to her house. So lo and behold, they all came out. There was about 4 of them. Yeah, I was a sophomore. No, I was a junior, but my friends were in college, and they just happened to come back from college that day, so they was also there. So they was expecting me to be by myself, but my college friends came outside with me, and I just happened. I had to just throw one of them. Oh, I just just throw him all across the front yard.
Yeah.
So that was the end of that. They stopped messing with me a little bit after that, but so that was my junior year. They was trying to bully me. My senior year, they still tried, but see what happened with my senior year was they was throwing that N-word around, trying to bully me, all this, blah, blah, blah. It's a soccer team. So me and my cousin, Jody McCain, what we did was we went to the locker room, took their soccer shorts, passed them out to like the gym class. So, so they came up to the game and they didn't have their uniforms. We just stole their shorts, right? And so that was my first strike. I got suspended during the football season for that, right?
Oh man.
Yeah. And then come basketball season, I got into a fight in the locker room. And so I got kicked off the basketball team for that. And that hurt my basketball scholarships. But there was a lot of racism behind the scenes that had to do with my, the principal trying to take away my scholarships. And it wasn't until I got to college, I signed a scholarship for college. One of my college coaches told me. He told me what was going on. But we was young and naive back then, and I really didn't know what was going on.
You know what? It's a lot of things like that haven't changed. A lot of things have changed, but there's still, it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Pretty wild. But let's move on from that. So now, your basketball season's over. You didn't run any track or anything?
No, not in high school.
Okay. And tell me about the process of getting into college and things like that.
Well, the funny thing about me getting into college is football season was over, and I kind of thought I wanted to play, basketball in college, but I got kicked off the basketball team.
Okay.
So that's when the scholarship letters stopped coming.
Yes.
But the day that I got suspended indefinitely from the basketball, I signed a scholarship for football the very next day to play Division I, Ohio University.
Okay.
And so, once I got to college, oh my God, you talk about them 2 days. Them 2 days in high school wasn't nothing compared to college. From 6 a.m. to 9 o'clock at night, we was gone. So, college that was a little bit rougher because you had the study hall, you had to keep your grades up, keep your grades up.
It's a lot different than high school.
Yeah, it's a lot different from high school. High school, I really didn't have to try to get good grades. College, I had to try. And so, it was like an all-day thing. It was a job from 6 a.m. We went to morning workouts. And then from like 8 to 2 o'clock, we had classes. And then from 3 o'clock to 7 o'clock, we had practice. From 7 to 9, it's study hall. So I say by the time I was a sophomore in college playing football, I was kind of burnt out.
Okay.
So my first year of college, I redshirted. So I set out. My sophomore year, I started.
Okay.
So we ran a triple option, and I was a wide receiver. So for everybody that don't know about that,
we ran
the ball. We ran the ball the whole time. We never threw it.
Yeah.
But that was a good experience because we got to travel all over. We got to travel. We went to Hawaii. We played in Hawaii. We got to travel all over. New York. We got to travel all over. So it was a good experience.
Beautiful thing, man. Ohio is a good university. There's a long snapper they used to play at Marion that's there right now.
Yeah.
Shout out to Michael. But Michael Seabold, he's out there long snapping. It's, Division I's no joke, man.
Yeah, Division I is no joke.
So tell me this: when did you get the writing bug?
Oh man, well, once let me go back to college. So I had a career-ending neck injury in college, right? Okay. Like right before my junior year started, right? And so they allowed me to go to one more semester on scholarship before they snatched my scholarship.
Can you
And so
talk
once
about
I
that?
didn't have my,
Can you talk about that play? Sorry.
it was actually in practice. It was in practice. We was running practice, and I went up to catch a pass, jumped really high, and one of the defenders clipped my legs. So when I came down, I landed like on my neck and hit my head real hard. And I somersaulted and landed on my head.
Yeah.
You know, everything was normal. I got up, ran back to the huddle, continued as normal, continued practice, didn't feel no pain.
Yeah.
Went back, went to sleep. And when I woke up in the morning, I couldn't move my neck. So I didn't know what was wrong. So I couldn't move my neck. And so, you know, I went to specialists, told me I had like a deep sprain or deep muscle strain or whatever, and I could barely move my neck. It took like years to heal up. So, but that's what ended my football season.
Football career.
Football career. They allowed me to do like one more quarter on scholarship. But once I lost my scholarship, I really couldn't afford to go to school.
Yeah.
That financial aid, they just continued to mess with me. Like, for instance, you know, once I would have financial aid for one semester, then the next semester they wouldn't approve it. And I was like, so what's going on with my financial aid? They was like, well, you never signed up for selected services. I'm like, I didn't know I had to do that. Like, once you're 18, they're like, once you're 18, you got to sign up for selected services. So I had to come back to Indiana. Yeah, they didn't tell me that. So I come back to Indiana, sign up for selected services, come back to Ohio, try to go back to school, get financial aid, and I still couldn't afford it because of out-of-state tuition. So I'm like, so how do I go about getting in-state tuition? They're like, well, you got to live here. So after a while, I just couldn't afford this. I couldn't afford school. So went back to Indiana and tried to figure out what I wanted to do. And then somebody told me that, I wrote a letter to one of the video game companies telling them how to make their video game better, right?
Okay.
And I kept this letter in my bag. And then like several years later, the video game company that I wrote to, that I, gave advice for a specific game, they used my ideas.
Okay.
And so someone was like, well, you should design video games. You should go to school to design video games. So I was like, okay. So I went to ITT in Indianapolis to learn how to design video games. But once I got there, I was like, this is way too complicated. One person can't design a video game. It's going to take a whole company, company. So I was like, I don't want to design a video game, but I'll write the script to the video game that I want made.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for the last year that I was in school, while I was working toward my associate's degree, I went and got my assignment, but I went to like an empty lab and just started writing, right? And that's how, the Fahrenheit series came about. I was, brainstorming ideas, concepts, all this. And what I did was, one day when I was at work, I worked at a call center in front of a computer all day. And I went online and I Googled a sample script. So the script that I found was Ghostbusters 2. Remember that movie?
Yeah. Slime and all that. Yeah.
That sample script was online. So I printed it off and I just copied the format of it. And that's how I came up with my script to my Fahrenheit series.
Okay.
And so, the funny thing about that was all through school, I didn't know I was a good writer. Right. But all my English teachers, I went to Jones for like a year. You remember Miss Solomon?
I never went to middle school in Marion.
You never went to Jones?
Yeah, I moved to Marion in 10th grade.
Okay. Well, my middle school English teacher, Miss Solomon, she told me that I could get straight A's if I wanted to. She always told me that. And she told my mom this also, right? So that was the first encounter that I had with an English teacher telling me that I could get straight A's.
Bro,
so by the time
I had a teacher like that. I'm sorry to cut you off. I got to give her a props. I don't even know if she's alive.
Okay.
5th grade. I'm from New Jersey. Walter H. Hill School.
Okay.
5th grade. Mrs. Hill. One of the first Black teachers I ever seen in my life. She like Mahalia Jackson, just big and beautiful, big hair. She like Mom's Off What's Happening. She was like that. I was the class clown trying to fit in. and I was smart, but smart wasn't cool back then. She pulled me to the side and she said, you can be something special. She was one of those ladies. She's like, I see greatness in you. You messing around with these fools. You know what I mean? And that was one of the first people that snapped me into that I was different, that I was smart, that I could be on the path to pretty much where I'm doing right now. So I always give Miss Hill props. And so I can relate to what you're talking about with that teacher.
Yeah. Yeah. So I feel it. So Miss Solomon, she was my first English teacher that I can remember. She was like, told me I could get straight A's if I wanted to. Told my mom this and everything. So by the time I get to high school, I had a teacher, Miss Miller, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one day she just pulled me to the side and was like, I'm gonna put you in accelerated classes. I'm like, nah, I'm good. She was like, yep. She's like, I'm recommending you for accelerated. I was like, nah. She was like, yeah. She was like, you come to this. She said you come to English class, you barely try, and it's very easy for you. So she's like, I was like, nah, I'm good. So I wouldn't let her put me in accelerated because I wasn't trying to do all the extra work or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like the second encounter. And then like my senior year, one of my ex-girlfriends, her mom was like, as I was graduating high school, she was like, I think you should go to college and be an English teacher. So I had three people, telling me, but I didn't know that was their way of telling me that I would be a good writer.
Good writer.
So that's what that meant. Yeah, that's what that meant. And I didn't figure it out until I started writing. And so when I started writing, when I was doing my little video game design courses, when I started writing, I finished my first script.
Okay.
And I immediately started writing another one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I contacted a lawyer and got like a copyright.
Okay.
So by this time I had 2 scripts done, and I graduated school, right? And I was working at a call center in Marion, and I got contacted by a book publishing company. I want to give them a shout out, Dorrance Publishing. Okay. They contacted me, and then they wrote me a letter, and they said they wanted my work, right? And so I explained to them, I was like, look, this isn't meant to be a book. It's meant to be a video game script. So when I finished my first script, the first thing I did was I sent it to EA Sports. And I got good feedback from EA Sports. They gave me really good feedback. Some dude was like, look, you sent this to the wrong department, but I'm going to make sure it gets to the right department because I would love to see a video game like this on the market.
Get out of it.
So that gave me the motivation to keep writing. So I just kept writing, but by the time the book publishing company contacted me, I was like, look, I'm good. It wasn't supposed to be a book. So then they called me. It was like, we need to make this book. This is a very good story. So we went round and round. And so eventually I agreed, and I was like, okay, send me the contract. They sent me the contract. They wanted exclusive rights. But the thing about it was I had to send them my first 2 scripts for them to read, because I didn't know if they was going to make it a book or not. So they had to approve it at first. And, once they got my work, they was like, okay, we want to make both of these books. They're good enough. We want to make them books. And so I let them make my first 2 manuscripts and turned them to books. And then I had books, and I started sending them to video game companies. I focused on EA Sports and Ubisoft.
Okay.
And so 2012, my first book was released. My second book wasn't released until 2015.
Okay.
And once I had 2 books, that's when I decided that mailing them to these video game companies wasn't enough. So I kept writing, and my third book came out in 2015.
Okay.
And I gotta give one of my cousins a shout out, Lindsay Malone. You might not know her.
Okay. I think she was a cheerleader. Wasn't she a cheerleader?
Yeah, she was a cheerleader.
I remember.
She lives out here in the Bay Area.
Okay.
So I started talking to her about what I wanted to do, and I told her, like, I'm trying to get connected with these video game companies. And it just so happened that she's out here with all the video game companies, right? So she was like, you should come out here. So I packed up all my stuff, and by this time I had 3 books. I packed up all my stuff and moved out here. And she made my move really easy. And so once I got out here, the first thing I did was walk my books into EA Sports. I had 3 of them. Walked them into EA Sports, right? And the little receptionist, oh, she turned me away so damn bad. She was like, she's like, wait. She's like, who do you know in this company? I was like, I don't know nobody. So she was like, well, if you don't know nobody, these books ain't gonna get to the right department. So that's a no. So,
Wow.
I turned around and Lindsay let me live with her. I was renting a room from her. So I just went to her room from 2015 to 2018. I locked myself in that room and I did nothing but write. So from 2015 to 2018, I did nothing but write.
Right.
So the 3 books that I tried to take to EA Sports in 2015 that got rejected, by 2017, they became bestsellers. So you know what happened then? EA Sports contacted me. They contacted me then. Once they became bestsellers, they contacted me, and then by that time I had 5 books. So I got a tour of the studio. She had walked me all around the studio. A senior recruiter gave me a tour of this multi-billion-dollar studio. It was closed to the public, but open to me.
It's got to be amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing to see all that stuff, how they make them games come to life.
Yeah.
So it was closed to the public, open to me. So I was feeling special. I had all kinds of people in there looking at me like I was an alien because I didn't see nobody that looked like me. And I saw about maybe 3 Asian people and nobody that looked like me. So they was looking at me like, who the hell are you?
We have to change this. We have to change this.
And I was looking at them like, yes, I'm in the building. So I got a tour of their studio. But once I got a tour of their studio, that opened up everything. Because once EA Sports, once they was interested in my product, all the other video game companies was interested. Yes. And so I got to hand deliver EA Sports five books from my Fahrenheit series.
Okay. So can I ask you this? What was the spark to make it into a terroristic Army CIA type deal? What was what made you write it in that way?
I'm glad you asked that question. It's a very good question. So when 9/11 happened back in 2003, was it 2003?
2001.
Twin Tower, 2001. Okay, when 2001, when the Twin Towers fell in 2001, it took me 2 years, 2003, to come up with the concept.
Okay.
So I wanted to take, that concept of a real life terrorist and everybody wanting to kill this terrorist themselves.
Yes.
And incorporate it into a game. And so I knew that's crazy. So from 2000, I had this concept from 2003, and it took me 2000 to 2011 to bring it to life in some form.
8 years.
And now it's 2021, and it's about to become a video game. So that's like a 20-year process. It's crazy. I never thought about that.
It's about to pay
off. So I had the concept in 2003 when Bin Laden knocked down them towers, right? I just didn't know how to make it. I didn't know how to make it come to life.
Yes.
And so in 2011, I wanted to somehow incorporate that into a video game, right? So in 2011, when I started writing military, Navy SEALs type stuff, not having any kind of military experience.
Yeah.
It just came really easy to me. I came up with characters really easy. I came up with concepts really easy. I came up with a storyline. I came up with a plot very easy. And the way my writing method is I would construct the story in my head, and I would sit down on the computer and just start, typing my story. So it's kind of like a freestyle.
It draws you in. It's suspenseful. Keeps you wanting to read page after page after page.
Yeah, and so that's how my writing style was. It came very easy for me. I truly feel like God put me on earth for the Fahrenheit series. And once my video game series is made, I know it's gonna take over.
Yes.
All of it. The Call of Duty, all of that, Battlefield, all of that. It's going to be the best in the world.
It's on its way, and then you'll be a billionaire. Make sure when you sign those contracts, make sure you got percentages and the long game. take a little bit now for the percentages later. You know?
Yeah, royalties. So the
Yes,
way
sir.
me and the video game company is talking, because it costs a lot of money to make a video game, just one video game. It's like $5 to $10 million.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's changed my life a lot because I got to move different. See, I'm out here in Oakland.
Yes.
Have you ever been to Oakland? You ever been to Oakland?
Never been out west.
Don't come. Do not come to Oakland.
Do not
It's
come
the
to
number
Oakland.
two. Yeah, it's the number 2 most dangerous city in all of California.
Mm-hmm.
And lucky for me, and for God just so God would have it that I found my soulmate, and I'm able to move out of Oakland. I'm about 30 minutes away in Fairfield. But yeah, I found my future wife. But just a little story about Oakland, man. So I'm at a stoplight. You know when you hear those police helicopters above looking for somebody?
Mm-hmm.
So I heard a police helicopter above, and I'm at a stoplight, and the dude that's running from the police tries to jump in my car, bro.
No.
To hide from the police. So don't
do?
come to Oakland. I scurried up out of there. So I was like, hey, you better not touch that door. I scurried up out of there.
Hey, run over his feet.
Yeah, so don't come to Oakland. But I forget the story where I was going with it. But yeah, back to like my little video game stuff, man. So yeah, that's where I'm going. So it costs like $5 to $10 million to make one video game, right?
Yes.
So I gotta move a lot different, because the video game company told me that they're willing to put up half of the money. So let's say it costs $5 million. Mm-hmm. They're going to put up 2.5.
2.5, yes.
Yeah, they're investing 2.5 in me.
But then you have to put up the other 2.5.
Other 2.5. So what I did was I had to contact a video game publishing company, and the one that I chose to contact was Microsoft. But the video game developer, they're called Void Interactive. They're working on their game right now. And the thing about Void, they invited me out to this video game event in Anaheim. It was in Los Angeles, called DreamHack. So I got to meet with them. I got to meet 4 of the designers or whatever. They're in New Zealand. 2 of them came from New Zealand, 2 from Australia. And at the time, I did not know they was already multimillionaires, right? They was already millionaires.
Yes.
So I'm chopping it up with them. And the good thing about this company, I'm glad God allowed me to find them, is because I get creative control.
Boom.
Right? I get creative control in the way that I want my game to be made.
Yes.
So I'm hands-on with them. And so, you know, finding them, it made me move a lot different, because when I got a company that's willing to invest millions of dollars into me, you know, I don't go to nightclubs anymore.
No.
You know, I just don't. I basically stay in the house, because
you gotta move different. You said.
Yeah, you gotta move different.
Gotta move different.
Especially being in Oakland, man. Anything can happen at any given time. I was sitting in my cousin's office. She has an office, and a damn car comes to the window. So, you know, I'm coming home from work one time, and I was carrying one of my pistols on me, but one of my pistols was in my house, right? So in a 20-minute difference from the time my relative had left, from the time I come home, the house was being burglarized, and they took one of my guns, and I had a gun on me, so I could have walked into that, and it would have been a shootout. So I just move a lot different. Once you got a company that's willing to invest millions of dollars into you, and I'm connected with Microsoft too. And so I just move a lot different. I stay in the house a lot more. I don't really, you know, be around the 3 a.m. club type crowd. Yeah. You know, it's hard to get me to go out and do anything like I used to do back when I was 20.
Is the pay pretty lucrative?
Out here?
Yeah, I mean, for your the Fahrenheit series, getting your product out there, are the numbers doing pretty good?
Yeah, the books, I have 8 of them on the market. 7 hit number 1. They do a lot better overseas in other countries. Okay. So I've been like a bestseller in France, Spain. I've had some bestsellers here in the US too. I've been bestsellers in Russia, Italy, the UK, very popular. So let's just say I've been getting a royalty check since 2012.
That's very good.
I can also say about getting my royalty checks from them is I know that they don't pay me what they should pay me, because I tested the market one time.
Yes.
So I worked at a call center. Yeah, I worked at a call center with like 98% women, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was able to burn movies. They had grandkids and kids, and the little kids, the Disney movies. I was able to burn that for them and put them on disc.
Yes.
And so I would sell like 20 of these movies and have like $200 in my pocket, right?
Boom.
So with that $200, I would go and buy my book.
Mm-hmm.
Just buy my book. And at this time, I only had one book on the market.
Mm-hmm.
So $200, I would just buy my book off of Amazon, and I'll keep track of, how many I bought.
Yes.
And so when the book company would send me a statement, all of it wasn't on there. But it's the nature of the game.
Yeah.
They got something out of me, and I got something out of them. They gave me books, and I'm their cash cow. So,
But
I did. Yeah, the thing about that was I didn't give them exclusive rights to my work, which was a blessing.
Yes.
So now, like the video game deal, like say if my books ever became a movie,
mm-hmm.
that deal goes through me. It'll all go through me.
All
the book company, the book company, they get no percentage of that. They only get book sales, and the deal goes through me. All of that.
That's beautiful stuff, Tavares.
Yeah.
Do you have any ideas about writing something different than the Fahrenheit type?
Yeah. So, I was contacted by a video game company out here. They wanted me to write romance for them.
Okay.
All right. So, and they wanted to see how good my romance skills were, and so I wrote them a sample romance prose. Mm-hmm. I didn't think I would be good at it, but once I started writing romance, it was basically smut.
Yeah.
I was good at it.
There's different genres.
I was good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was good at it. And so they wanted me to work for their company.
Mm-hmm.
And it was about the time that I was still focused on my stuff.
Uh-huh.
And then when they told me what the pay was, they couldn't afford me. So I'm like, look, I'm a best-selling author.
There's a
and I'm about to have my own video game series. And so you're gonna have to pay me as right. You have to pay me as such.
Yeah.
And so, and I have like a kind of like a crime detective type story that I've always had in the back of my head that I'll write it some other time. I'm just focused on my stuff right now.
And being out west, maybe you can find some of those things to be made into movies.
Being out west gave me the motivation. Yeah.
Yes.
Everything's out here. All the technology is all out here. And it gave me, when I first got out here in 2015, I locked myself up in the bedroom. I decided to be abstinent, didn't date anyone, and just wrote. And it paid off.
Awesome.
Yeah, it paid off.
That's it. What does the future hold for you, fiance? What do you plan on doing? Plan routes out west? Maybe you could take a European book tour, when all this COVID stuff dies down. If your major fan base is overseas,
someone else suggested that. Yeah. Might do an overseas book tour. Right now, me and the future wife, we're focused on our relationship. We're trying to live healthy. Plan on being married soon. Possibly more kids soon.
Yes.
And then of course when my video game series is made, just having the best video game in the world. So
now, let me
that's
ask
what the future holds. Happiness.
That's it. Now, going through all this COVID, vaccinations, how are things out there on the West Coast as far as quarantines, opening up this city, masks?
Stuff is starting to open, but it's like at 50%.
Okay.
So masks are still mandatory. You can't go in the store without a mask, but it's been pretty bad out here. The COVID thing. Movie theaters have been closed and probably not going to open back up. All the restaurants. I say about a month or two ago was the first time I got to sit down in a restaurant for the first time since. But COVID's been pretty bad out here. I was never really paranoid of it, never really scared of it. I just, I always drink a lot of water and try to exercise anyway. So it's been rough, but because I like
think we're
to,
getting
get
out of
out and like, yeah. I'm not interested in taking a vaccine. I did get tested, but it was for a job. It was required for a job, so I got tested. But I think I'm gonna wait a while before to see what this vaccine do.
Yeah.
Because
I want to see what the evidence is. We lost
Yeah.
DMX, and they say he died from taking a COVID shot, but he had scarring of the heart from all the drugs, and the COVID shot just locked him up. So a lot of people that haven't taken care of their bodies or have abused drugs or bad diet kind of gets to them, but a lot of people that are active and healthy and do things like that are a little bit better off. But then you got to worry about mutant strains and I'll be glad when it's over, bro.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Looking forward to it, man. Right. I'll be there in September though for the little festival, James Dean. I'll make it there every year. Bring the future wife with me. That she gonna meet the family and all. So
we'll have to link up live. Let's link up live and maybe Channel 27 or so will be out there and we can get you on there or something like that, or maybe do another one of these. I did want to ask you though, who is your top 3 running backs in Marion? I know you mentioned Roger Hamilton earlier, or 3 or 4 or 5.
Top I have 3 running backs.
Yeah, top 5
I'm
running
backs
in Giant history.
I'm gonna say I think I can give 3.
Okay.
All right. The first one's always gonna be me.
Yes.
Second, myself. Third, I. No, I'm playing.
Be myself.
I'm playing. Yeah. No, my cousin Reggie Nevels, he was a quarterback, wasn't he?
Yeah. Went to the Army, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say Reggie. Even though he was a quarterback.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Reggie. And then I'm gonna say was Benji Smith was like the first running back I remember at Marion. What's his name, Benji?
Yeah, he played with us. He was number 20. He was real quick and shifty, but he was never a starter. Jamel Batchelor and Matt Surface was ahead of him. And then before that, it was James Barber and Mark Howard, and Bo White was ahead of him then. But Benji was a change of pace back. After Jamel and Matt are pounded in there, they give it to Benji. He ran 100 yards a few different games. Our senior year, we went to state, and Benji contributed big time. Yeah.
Okay. Well, see, he's the one that I remember. He's the one I remember. Yeah.
Good stuff, man. What about your contact information? How can people get a hold of you, be it through social media, websites, or things of that nature?
Yeah. My contact information is just my first name, last name, Tavares Rankins. That's on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Sometimes I'm hard to find on Facebook because I deactivate my Facebook. It's not interesting to me, so I'm really not on Facebook that much. So, but you can find my books. Just Google my name. They're on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, any kind of platform that you want to find them on. They're there. Just put my name into Google, Tavares Rankins, and they'll pop up.
All right.
Yeah.
I got one more question for you.
Okay.
When was your first dunk? Now, I remember in basketball, you was a high riser, bro. I
used to jump out the gym. I was Brian. I wore number 13.
Okay.
Yeah, I was jumping out the gym. My first dunk, it was my freshman year, and it was in practice, believe it or not. You know how we used to throw the ball up off the bounce and then catch it and dunk it?
Yeah.
That was the first dunk I did in practice. Yeah. I used to jump out the gym.
Yeah. And what about in the game? Yeah. What's one of your favorite dunks in game?
In game, one of my favorite dunks in game, we was playing. I can't remember the team we was playing. Oh yeah, we was playing Tipton.
Okay.
Playing Tipton. They had this guy. He had to be about 6'11". He was close to 7 foot back then. Close to 7 foot. But it was me and him on the break. And I guess he thought I was going to lay the ball up, and he was about to jump with me. And I was like, I'm about to dunk on you. And I dunked. I had 2 dunks that game. One was a coast to coast, and one was on a fast break where he was about to try to block my shot, and I went ahead and dunked on him.
Bang.
The funny thing about that was years later, I went to visit one of my friends on a college campus, Bloomington, IU.
Uh-huh.
And he was at a party, and he came up to me and was like, "Hey, do you remember when you dunked on me?" I was like, "I dunked on a lot of people, brother." But yeah, I remember that one.
That's good stuff, man. Hey, well, thanks for being on here, Tavares, man. I appreciate you coming on.
Hey.
I hope you
Thanks for having me, bro.
Books and gaming. And I mean, the sky's the limit on that Fahrenheit series, man. You can have movies, and you literally could be a billionaire. I mean, you could be on your way to making major movies out west. So
that's my goal. 7 to 10 years, I plan to be a billionaire, brother. I want to thank everybody for their support. Everybody that's purchased a Fahrenheit series book, everybody that's left a review. Even if you purchased it and didn't leave a review, I still appreciate the support. So thanks for having me on your platform.
Hey, thank you, brother. Yeah, we implore everybody to get out there and like you said, Google, use your search engines, look up his products and buy his products, support homegrown man talent and the things that we're doing out there in the world. He's a game changer. Thanks for joining us, man.
All right. Thank you, bro. Tag me when you post this.
Yep, I will.
All right, brother. Take care.
God bless.
Peace.
Take care.
God bless.